Good morning, everyone. I'm Tom Lee. I'm very honored to have this opportunity to share with everyone to talk about the DDoS attack defense. We know that DDoS is a major threat for the internet, and also there are a lot of dangers to the general public and users. And this is our statistics about some DDoS. Currently, we have accounted for 40% of the Chinese websites, and there are 2,000 attack times per day. And also 50% of them are of Chinese large attacks, which are covered by our website. That is around over 300G. Many of you may think the number is already quite large, but actually, I'd like to say that the attack growth is lower than the user growth. And what is the conclusion is that the internet DDoS attacks time is decreasing. And also the international media also come up with the same conclusion. We know that the AliCloud users is increasing. It is far more quickly than the growth rate or the rate of the DDoS. And of course, we can see some of the decrease of the DDoS attacks, but we can see that the attack is more focused and they are more professional and more deadly. Here are a few numbers. For the past 2 years, there are only 2.6% of our Ali users were attacked. That means 1 in 40. But if you are medium-sized and large customers of the AliCloud, the proportion would be 1 in 1 in 7, and if you are high level, it will be in 1 in 30. So that means we have seen different industries, for them accelerating or game or live broadcasting or the financial broadcasting and female host, and also P2P financial industries. There are a few attacks, which is more like a total disruption of the. There will be in those weeks. There will be 100% and 200% times than the previous attacks. And maximum traffic on single IP has been attacked by 690G. That one is for the game industry. So the integrated attacks is more than 1T. So the direct loss of game users in a single day is 5 million. So that means the DDoS attack is more focused and more professional and more deadly. And maybe you are quite curious who are attacking. For the past 3 months, we are doing our surveillance on the attackers. We have detected 130,000 attackers. 94% of them are from domestic sources. And we estimated that there are 1.5 million practitioners. And also for the past 2 years, we also collaborated with a lot of partners. We have captured a lot of suspects about DDoS, and also we have successfully made a lot of new cases cracked. And why they attack? The first reason is blackmail, which is quite common to see. No matter in cloud or not, blackmail is the largest purpose for them. And they would use a few real-time instant messenger to other ways. They'd like to give some ransom. So if you don't pay the money, they will do something. And also the second one is vicious competition. Then in the past 6 years, 6 months to the past 1 year, we have seen a lot of industry overturning events. And they are the vicious competition in the same industry. If they have, if they and the third one is hurt by mistake. And that is the third, which is quite surprising for us, because there are a lot of users. For example, they have SV, or they will open their API, they would provide their users to use. And actually, this kind of mistake is not very small in the proportion of the total. So they are not targeted for you, but the proportion is still relatively high. And as for the public cloud platform, DDoS has caused 2 major threats. The first one is about network failure. The most obvious one is that they have taken control of over 2T attack traffic. So that means the whole internet will be in traffic jam, and the result is unacceptable. And the second one is that the dramatically increased cost, especially bandwidth cost. And currently, the current solution of public cloud is about the sharing of the responsibility. So it is not only about Ali Cloud. Now we have a few solutions. The first one is about traffic cleaning. That is the basic. That is to base some cleaning or scrubbing center in the entry part. I think this one is our advantage compared with traditional providers. And the second one is black hole. Actually, as a public cloud, we are really reluctant to implement black hole. What is black hole? That is to black out those attacking traffic. The purpose is that we'd like to prevent the traffic jams of the internet. And the third one, part of the cloud, public cloud, would use the clearance way, that is to clear the high-risk users. And there are a few events which arouse a lot of disputes. And I think that one is quite extreme. And then number 4 is cooperation. That is, we share the responsibility and do together. Though it is called the sharing responsibility, we are the major participant, so we'd like to provide more responsibilities and mitigation services for the generates. So how can we do that? The first one is about AI for DDoS mitigation services. 90% of the attacks actually within 60 milliseconds, and it is not enough. It is still far from our goals. Currently, automation's deployment or detachment of surface is still based on the application of rules. For example, we would give them a pre-configuration, and we will have internet model rules, and then to achieve automation. But currently, we cannot reach differentiation of different users, and also, as for most of the users, when they are attacked, they cannot attain the satisfactory service. And also, most of the defense is based on IP, and it is not satisfiable for most of the users. We have to think out of the box, and we have to think in the perspective of our users. So, as for the compliance operation, we hope that it can be transformed into information-driven, and it is more like an information defense, so that we can transform the human test and human evaluation to intelligent decision. So what is intelligence-driven? There are 3 parts. The first one is about the accurate cleaning of traffic. I think you are quite familiar with that, about the cleaning or scrubbing. there are some mistaken rate. Actually, users don't care about those mistaken rate. Our parameters or criteria is that the normal or common users, they were not influenced by the rate. Our most frequently used customers, they will not be affected. How can we do that? This is thanks to our public cloud platform. Since we have the big data, we can better identify whether those visits are common or are normal. So it's relatively easier for us to identify those abnormal visiting, so that the common users, they will not be affected by the cleaning of traffic. Second one is about the risk warning. As I mentioned before, there are some events actually about disturbing the different industries, and if we have this risk warning, it can prevent it. So who launched these events? Why they launch those events, and how many resources they have? How long are they going to last? Once we get this information, we can make the warning of those risks so that we can get a automatic decision making. As for the user perspective, it's also what we are doing now. Currently, a lot of defense are not based on IP, are more based on user perspective. Usually, the first part is about the user grouping, so that we can avoiding the user, if once they get attacked, they will not be spreaded to the whole group. So we group them into different parts. And then second one is about risk control. And as for some public cloud, they will clear those users. But I think that's a very violent way. So through the user perspective, once you are attacked, where is your advantages, or what is your sensitive information which might be get attacked? So we can provide a more rational solutions or restrictions, so that we can help you to avoid spending some money in a useless way. The third one is flexible protection threshold. And in Alibaba Cloud, we are targeting different users. And in the future, we will do more specific things, because the preset configurations is not the set one. And it is also depend on the maximum risks and your attack surface, who is attacking you. This is a combination of the integrated data. And the advantage is that the attackers, they don't know what is the preset configuration. And also, as for the blackmail or the mistaken hurt, if it is not affecting the whole platform, no matter how large it is, we can solve that. This is what we have done based on the user perspective. Okay, thank you very much.